we have now seen the highest level that we have seen in a very long period of time. This actually dates all the way back to the fall. And this could be very exciting because, we talked about being on the edge of alt season. Well, we are actually very close to entering a technical alt season. We have actually about 3 weeks to confirm this. I want to show you guys exactly what I mean here, why this relates to ADA and why this is such a big deal. And I also want to look at another chart here as well that keeps pushing against the edge, showing that it wants to make a significant move, which would be big for the market. So if you guys are new or haven't already, show your support for the channel down below. Hit that subscribe button, that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So to begin the day, as US money has started to wake up, we are seeing a little bit of red, a little bit of selling throughout the space. ADA is actually down at about 82 cents at the time of filming this video. We'll obviously see where things are at as the day progresses, but I'm less concerned about where price is going to go and head to this weekend because, again, weekends are lower volume. You don't tend to get any exciting news per se, but right now we're at about 178 billion in trading volume over the last 24 hours, so it's even dropping as I'm making these videos here, and we're kind of just waiting for everything to kind of nestle in to try to create a push as we get into next week. And in kind of looking at all the data, I noticed something very interesting. We are actually at a 60 in the CMEC altcoin season index, which is a very high level. Now, for those that aren't familiar, this is actually how the top 100 altcoins have performed versus BTC over the last 90 days. What you want to see is 75% or more of them outperforming BTC. Right now, we're at about 60%. If you're curious about where ADA's at, it's actually up here at about 24.87% up over the last 90 days. So anyone that's complaining, ADA's doing just fine there. And BTC is actually all the way down here at only up 4.28% during that time. You guys can see that there are some assets that are lagging, but they are very quickly moving up the charts here. And when we're looking at BTC, basically the reference point for this, so over the last 90 days, back here, May 30th is now that date. That's 90 days ago, right? So why I'm saying we have about 3 weeks to confirm this is if we look at BTC price over the next several weeks here, it was pretty much flat. There was some drops, there were some spikes, but for the most part, it was pretty much consistent. It was right before it started to take this next leg. So what we really need to see is, one, a lot of conviction in terms of altcoins during that time, but two, we also need to see some of this capital that's stuck on the sidelines start to re-enter the space, okay? So what can give us that push? Well, jobs report next week. Have an FOMC meeting the following week. We have probably some discussions and voting on the Clarity Act that are going to be coming later in September as well. So there are some things that can, in fact, get this push back in play here, right? The biggest thing I will say is that we need to watch closely is ETH BTC. So we've talked about ETH BTC many times, and obviously Ethereum has been outperforming BTC since all the way back here on its bottom back on April 22nd. And right now it's basically pushing against this resistance. This is the exact resistance it was fighting November and December of 2024. And right now it just hasn't been able to muster up enough strength to push through there. Now, this has been continuing to ride this 20-day moving average, which is very much closing in on that target right now. So we could be on the verge of actually, as we get into next week, a little bit of push for altcoins in general. That would be a very exciting sign. Something I did want to mention here, though, is crypto search volume is dropping back down. It's kind of returning to the mean that we were seeing back here in June. Still higher than what we were seeing last fall, though. So we're still at a higher point of relevance for the crypto market. Optics are still pretty big right now. Retail is in fact paying attention, like I've talked about in other videos. And why this is such a big deal as it relates to ADA is, remember, ADA tends to perform its best when retail excitement is high, when altcoins are moving. Right now, we're kind of at this point where ADA tends to get a lot of the speculator money, which is good. That helps ADA do some incredible things in terms of price. And that's exactly what ADA needs to start making some of these more aggressive moves, start attacking this longer term trend like we've talked about. Remember, our target that ADA really needs to get to and break past is about $1.95. And that's right where some major resistance is, about $1.90 to $1.95. So who knows? Maybe that's where we're headed towards here in the not so distant future. Maybe we get enough of a catalyst and liquidate enough shorts to start making some of these moves and push us actually to a 75 here, officially confirming this technical alt season, but I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. What do you think is ahead? Are we going to get some excitement as we head into the next few weeks? Is this going to be a rejection, kind of like what we were seeing back in, gosh, what was that, May? I think May we had gotten up to about like 45 or 50 or so, and then we came back down. But I appreciate you guys as always. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.